Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk Taskmaster Australia. And last episode fell a little flat compared to the first two of this series, this new series, that I thought those first two were real bangers of episodes. Like everything seemed to be firing on all cylinders. The Taskmaster and his assistant, the two Toms, Greater and Lesser, I think they're great. I think the cast has a lot of promise, but every series of Taskmaster has an episode or two that just fall a little flat, and I think episode 3 may have been that in this case. So I'm hoping we get back on the highs that we had during episodes 1 and 2 of this series. The show's definitely got a ton of potential. The right producers are behind it because it seems like there's the same team behind this series that is behind Taskmaster New Zealand, which has become a hit, a real favorite of mine. 95% of the original, you know what I mean? It's right there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some fun original tasks. I'm looking forward to some creative performances. I'm hoping people invest more into the prize task, which I feel has been a little bit flat throughout the series. But let's find out what happens, guys. Let's jump right into it. This is episode 4 of Taskmaster Australia. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, hello, welcome to Taskmaster Australia.
Tonight, they've been asked to bring in what they consider to be the coolest thing they've found on a walk within 1 kilometre of their house.
Okay.
A great incentive to do 15 minutes of light exercise.
One of the people in my neighbourhood took it upon themselves to create a sitting spot with a view, and I found this.
A chair.
So you didn't bring in the view, which was the thing that you seemed to be most captured by.
Yeah, no, there was mistakes were made.
It's a cool, hipster, wankery kind of cafe. I attempted to haul it here, but I just had to steal some menus. Look at all the funky titles to all the meals.
Well, I live
brought in a
350
menu.
metres from Anthony Albanese's office.
Oh.
So I brought a Marrickville pork roll.
But is it cool?
I think it's pretty cool. Yes.
It looks like a bit of a
Thank you,
banh mi.
The crowd has spoken.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
I don't live near a beach or river system. And so on a walk, I found a crab that was alive.
Okay.
It was in the middle of a frickin' park. Yeah, it's a pretty big crab, I thought, for a park.
You know, those, like, blow-up things. There he is.
You brought that in?
Yes, sir, I did. But, yeah, woo! It's a lot of fun.
I mean, it's no chair.
Okay, Julia wins.
I think you have to be at the bottom on 1 because it's just a chair.
Yeah.
What?
Jimmy brought in a menu.
Nina, it's just a pork roll and they're pretty cheap.
It's the best pork roll in Sydney.
But it's unimpressive. Okay. All right. So, Jimmy, you're on 3 with your menu.
For a menu.
On 4
Come
points,
on.
I'm going to go with Danielle with the crab. Julia, the inflatable man's the coolest, surely. 5 points.
Yeah, I mean... Okay. We're bowling.
Sink the bowling ball. You cannot get wet.
Sink the bowling ball. Ooh,
Okay.
So that's all there is to it. Just sink the bowling ball.
Yeah.
All right.
Seems achievable.
Okay, well, let us do
Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's a boat nearby. Does it float? Okay. Does it float?
It's not sinking.
You tricked me.
Must be one of those light ones.
Okay, I like the twist. I like the twist.
I wish I knew how to row.
Okay, no. Get to the ball.
We're still calling it Poop Lake. That's not sunk. It seems the wrong way to go.
Floated.
What?
I mean, I put it in this
Why don't you
crab
just
pot.
hold it underwater?
Okay.
Wouldn't that consider...
My bum's not wet, by the way. I
Wet
pissed my
bum.
pants in the boat. It's not water.
And piss doesn't count as wet?
No, that's different.
What the
The crab pot sank.
That's not sunk.
And dry as a bone.
That is not sunk. It's in a sink, but... Really? We're calling that sinking a bowling ball? Ugh. I hope we don't give him points for that.
Please.
Oh.
Please, please, please.
Danielle's
please,
certainly
please.
putting a lot of time on this.
It's under the water. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's sand.
that's sunk.
So, Luke, I'll accept that you weren't wet if you're happy to admit here in front of all of your peers that that was 100% human piss.
I'm worried I'll say it was piss and then you'll give me 1 point anyway.
So Luke put the ball in the sink after 14 minutes and 6 seconds.
Wow.
Danielle sank her ball after 40 minutes and 23
Okay,
Okay, well, this will be an interesting interpretation. What's the Taskmaster going to say about sinking the ball? Okay, in one.
Damn it! Knew it would float. Stupid
What?
task.
What? Why is he going off the... Why is he going from there? Why not just go from the shore?
In.
What? Oh, he's gonna... Oh, okay, okay.
Going with one oar.
Been working out the arms, Tom. Don't want to brag.
Yeah.
Ah.
I am the fastest.
Okay, still not wet.
Just hold it down.
Bowling ball.
You may not get wet. That's the challenge, right?
Under here like this, and there you go, sunk it.
Yeah. Oh.
Is your hand getting wet there?
Not wet by the very definition of it.
Did you touch it with your hand as well?
No, I rowed.
Yeah.
We'll define wet.
Is the reason we asked none of them to get into the water because that lake looked a bit disgusting?
It was full of. It was an Ebola. It was full of.
E. coli.
E. coli, not Ebola.
That would be crazy if it was only now we told you that the lake had a bowler.
It would have made the challenge a lot harder.
It hasn't stopped kiwis from submerging themselves in it.
I think I'm going to accept that everyone got a little bit wet, so I'm going to just put that aside.
Oh, okay.
So Julia sank the ball in 8 minutes and 14 seconds.
Okay.
Jimmy sank the ball in 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
All right.
What's the point of the task? Sorry.
What's the point of the task?
I mean, there's a boat here.
There is a boat there.
Oh my god. Okay. Is this
She's
how-
bringing a king with her. What's her strat? Why?
Hey!
Hey.
I did it! It's like, you can use the boat.
Oh,
The
Nina.
catch with this boat is
Oh,
that you
Nina.
have to get it back.
She
Oh my God.
hasn't
What a
yet
time.
looked. Nina.
You done?
I think so. I'll just double check the brief again. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was done ages ago.
Okay.
We're still filming. Forgot my... Bye.
Nina.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
So Nina's attempt is still ongoing. Her time currently stands at 78 days, 9 hours and 23 minutes.
Okay. Incomplete.
1 point for Nina, 2 for Danielle, 3 for Luke, 4 for Julia, and the winner of the task with 5 points
So
is
we're
Jimmy.
saying Luke sank the ball. Okay. Okay, we got our Rice Krispies. Or similar generic brand name.
Is he testing 1, 2? Oh, sorry.
That's a good look for you.
You think?
Yeah, doing something useful. Snap something, and crackle something, and pop something.
Your first snap, crackle, and pop counts.
Most satisfying snap, crackle, and pop wins.
Oh. Oh, she just made a noise. Okay, so it's all about satisfaction. It's not about time at all.
Pretty certain if I snap a whole bunch, it'll make one loud big snap.
It's kind of crackling. There's your pop right there.
Crackle. I can write a pop song. Tom Gleeson was a redhead, but but then he lost all his hair.
I really liked it. Would you like to sing it to my face?
No, I'm good.
you sure?
I forgot that I did that.
Tom, I've been meaning to say, you look great holding the boom mic. I'm just happy you have something to fall back on if this whole thing doesn't work out.
I'm just happy I'll always have a job working with you.
Okay, I need a few minutes to deliver some bad news.
Crumpling mylar would be a good crackle, I think. That's how they simulate fire sounds, Foley artists do.
It would be satisfying to shoot a gun.
You're asking me to get you a gun.
There's an eggshell in the bin. I can crackle that. And you know I've been wanting to use this
gonna
every day.
Pop a
I'm gonna do crackle
workout
first.
ball. That was pretty crackly.
1 minute and 5 seconds.
Oh gosh, I'm not gonna get this done, am I? That's my snap.
22 seconds.
That's a good pop.
What did you use to make that crackle noise?
An egg I found in the bin.
It was a very satisfying sound.
Yeah, it felt, did you see my face? I was like, oh.
Were you going to take an axe to that?
Yeah, but they kept banning me from using the axe.
Because you'd suspect it would whack, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Pop something. From that,
Is that a pop? That's a pop?
tick the pop. So I feel like we've got our how very
Oh my God.
There's your snap. But are you ready for your
Oh. We're lighting them on fire. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's surprisingly effective. That was surprisingly effective.
The way that you just did that straight away made me feel like you've done that before.
No, but I love that stick lighter.
Should we worry about you in the summer months?
No. You'll never find me. I'm all in battle fatigue.
Can I swap spots?
I must say the snap was great. Do you snap at home?
Not anymore, sir, because I'm no longer married.
I think I'm gonna. Like, if
Oh.
I could have done it that way, but I think sitting on his face might be a bit more satisfying.
That was a little too bangy for crackle, I would say.
Let's try and put a balloon inside a balloon and have a double pop.
Why not just pop it with a pin? Jeez. Is that 2 balloons?
15, 14, 13, 12.
That was a good pop. Jeez. That was a damn good pop. Wow.
What's been impressive about all these attempts so far is the sounds they get on their first attempt. Just thought I'd bring that up for no reason.
Oh.
Anyway, we have one more contestant, Nina Oyama.
Oh no. Yeah, she already played with the cereal.
Oh, that sucked. Oh, that was... can I do a second snap?
All the information you need is in the task.
Okay. I'm going for another twig.
She doesn't reread it.
Oh, that's the snap.
Snap redacted. Oh, yeah, that's a
You know
good
what?
crackle.
I'm just going to shelve this. This is like part of the B squad of sounds. This is crackle time. Ready? Now that's a crackle. Can I do that?
Plastic packaging.
It's just not very satisfying. It's not good enough. Okay, what about this? Oh, I mean, I'm going to do it again. Yeah, that's a grade A pop.
Thanks, Nina.
Oh, Nina. I admire your enthusiasm for the show, but you've got to read your tasks better.
I love you carried the task around with you the whole time.
They were like so good.
I mean, you were there. Like, how good were they?
They were so good.
I think Luke's on 1. Despite not having second attempts that didn't count like Nina did. Nina, you're on 2. Danielle got a really good reaction from the crowd, but Jimmy got the best with 5.
Yeah.
Really satisfying sound from Jimmy.
Jimmy had the best pop. Danielle had the best crackle. I don't know how I feel about Jimmy's snap sitting on the portrait. It was more of a crunch than a snap in my mind. What is it? Is it Nutella?
Is this Vegemite?
It's generic yeast spread.
It's Vegemite. Awesome.
Sounds
It's
so
a
much
lot.
worse.
I've never seen that much Vegemite. I'm a fan, though.
Thoroughly spread this generic yeast spread on the best thing.
Well, Tom Gleeson it is.
Maybe if the whole world was covered in generic yeast spread, we'd all have one problem that we could unite against.
Like an Independence Day.
Yeah, the threat of genetic yeast spread. Generic yeast.
Genetic yeast.
He's very happy about the fact he's the best
Oh, we're
thing.
sculpting here.
Draw a suit on him.
The rotation stops working once you...
Man, we are spreading thick here.
Ta-da!
I mean... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Eat it! Eat it! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no. It's a two-parter.
Completely clean the generic yeast spread off your best thing.
Fastest when your time starts now. Okay.
Clean it off. Okay. Oh, you don't have to eat it. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
great. That's done, right?
Are you okay?
It's just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Danielle was pretty solid there, I think, but this is...
And that's cleaned.
That's
No, it's
completely
not.
clean.
Yeah.
No.
Smashed it.
How do you think it went compared to the other tasks at this lake?
Oh, bad. I think I'm like a
The
lake guy.
bowling
so-
ball's
Yeah.
still there.
Okay, bye.
The bowling ball is still there. She could have sunk it right there.
Like, I cannot stress enough how much it looked like actual shit. And of like various styles, like some there were big logs.
Stop describing it.
It's really hard to clean non-specified generic...
Generic yeast product.
Generic yeast in brand.
Spread.
Sorry.
All right, so Nina cleaned planet Earth in 11 minutes and 8 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Better than all those companies out there.
I would hate to be a corporation right now. Danielle cleaned Tom Gleeson in a brisk 2 minutes and 21 seconds.
Nice, nice.
I got to do it for science. I've never had a jar this big before. Okay. Oh. All right,
Oh,
close your
he's
eyes for a
gonna
second.
make
Okay.
such a terrible mess.
Guess which one is my real hand?
My right, your left. Yeah.
Your hero.
We're not even spreading.
Close
We're
your
just
eyes.
we're just
my eyes.
playing
Yep.
with
Open your eyes.
Vegemite.
Your left. Ah! Oh! All right. Oh, no! Don't be clean it off. Don't be clean it off. This is not working. Doesn't really come off, does it?
No.
Ooh, you might have to squint for this one, like blur
Okay.
your eyes a little. You squinting?
I'm really squinting.
We're not taking this
Your
cleaning
hand,
task
your
seriously.
Left.
Yeah, I don't think you squinted.
I was squinting. This is clean?
Yeah, that's how it was before.
Oh, Luke.
And now you're prepared to say that you had...
Like a poo all up my forearm.
Yeah. You know what the best thing is? You invented a task within the task and then you lost at that task.
Well, if we accept that the rest of that stuff on his arm was feces, his time was 7 minutes and 33 seconds.
Do you mind just laying down on this table?
Okay.
Oh no.
All right.
Oh no.
Got it.
Oh, nice. And this is like the oil.
Oh.
People don't always treat you like you're the best thing, don't you reckon?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Some websites love that.
Okay.
Oh.
I just thought. if
Oh, we're
anyone's
breading up.
seen a little bit- Oh. I hope the next task is a shower.
It is, basically.
It's quite thoroughly on here, isn't it? Are you clean?
Well, you be the judge.
I'm going to have to trust you to some degree.
I'll just pop off to the dry cleaners.
Can you explain putting the bread on your leg?
I don't even know where the bread came from. I remember none of that.
You asked me to get it for you from the kitchen.
Did I?
Jimmy, I think we got it back from the dry cleaner, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's have a look.
Look at that. Look how
Did
clean
it stain?
that is.
Did it stain?
It smells clean.
What does it smell like?
It smells like...
It smells like Luke's arm.
Well, hang on, it wasn't a smell test, though, was it? Did you smell Luke's arm? Because that obviously would have
To
stung.
be fair... Julia, are you setting me a task within the task?
So Julia had a shower and dried herself and came back in 6 minutes, 32
Wow.
seconds.
Okay.
Faster than a globe.
My suit was returned from the dry cleaners 4 days, 16 hours and 27 minutes. Nina on 2, Luke on 3, Julia on 4, and the winner of the task is Danielle with 5 points.
So Julia cleaned all of herself quicker than Luke cleaned his arms. I don't get it.
In your teams, recreate famous scenes from history for the Taskmaster.
Oh boy.
You may only speak in 4-letter words.
4-letter words.
Grass.
Grass has 5 letters.
JFK's assassination.
Correct.
Yeah.
Iron. Head.
Ned Kelly, perhaps?
Correct.
2000.
Oh, very Aussie.
Bugs.
Hap. Newy. Yeah.
Newy.
Y2K.
Yeah. Oh, are you doing a Y2K?
Oh.
Okay. Okay, they got 3. I don't know anything about Ned Kelly. I never would have got that.
Rats. Sick. Rats.
The plague.
Black Death.
Correct.
So, okay.
Krakatoa. Vesuvius.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pompeii.
Fall of the Berlin Wall. Correct. Very good.
There's still such improv troupe vibes with these 3. Dolly. Cloning Dolly.
GFC crash. Correct. He got it.
No, they won that.
It was not only competitive, but extremely educational.
What kind of crash was that last one? The GFC crash? Was that Aussie specific, or am I just really bad on my economic history?
Our current season winner so far, Danielle with 66 points.
And Nina's got to be at the bottom, right? Okay, not as terribly out of it as I would have thought, but it's a good 3-way race at the top.
Jimmy and Julia with 19 points. We've got another tiebreak.
Another tiebreak. Lovely.
We'll be watching Jimmy and Julia attempt to honk a car horn the quietest. Thanks, Jimmy.
Can I just say, in my own life,
By 5 decibels, Jimmy Rees had the quietest horn.
Yeah. Muffle it a little. All right, we're back, just as I figured we would be. This was a great episode. This one was a lot of fun. This was not Nina's best episode, not by a long shot. But she just needs to read her clues so much better. But, oh man. Sink a bowling ball. Like, did she literally not see it floating, or did she think putting it in the water meant sinking? I honestly don't know if she actually even saw it floating. She just assumed when she knocked it off the platform that it sank, and she never even looked for it. But 78 days and counting, so. And then this was the generic brand episode, wasn't it? Let's do tasks based right around Rice Krispies and Vegemite, but we can't say either of those things. So it's generic puffed rice cereal and generic yeast spread. And there we go. Snap, crackle, pop. Jimmy made a smart move with his snap, like sitting on the little portrait of the Taskmaster, because I don't think the sound itself was satisfying, but I think it's entertaining to see him, break a picture of the Taskmaster with his butt. His pop, genuinely awesome. I'm not sure if the double balloon made it louder, but just the commitment to the cause of blowing up that balloon until it popped was really impressive. I would have just blown it up to pretty big and then popped it with the pin, and it probably wouldn't have been quite as loud. And the double balloon thing, like, maybe that literally does make it more impressive. It was a smart idea. I heard he was doubling it up, and I'm like, oh, that's not going to be worth it. But Danielle nailed the crackle with the eggshell she found in the bin. Good for her. Like, who knew? I do know in the film industry, Foley artists are the ones that add sounds in post-production to the movie by simulating all sorts of things. And one of the things they use to make the sound of a crackling fire is they crumple mylar and similar sort of similar plastics. So I would have gone looking for that. Nina's second crackle, she found some packaging which had sort of that similar type texture plastic and got a good crackle out of it. But the eggshell was a surprisingly good one. Who knew? I wouldn't have done well at that because my first thought would have been snap and pop, which aren't terrible, but not is just greater volume, more satisfying. I don't know. I have no problem with Jimmy winning that one because that pop was like spectacular. Yeah, I feel good about that. The Vegemite. Do you guys even get Marmite in Australia? I know Marmite's the UK and Vegemite is Australian, and like we get both here in Canada. Neither of them are very popular, but you can find both in supermarkets, and I was raised on Marmite, but I like them both. I honestly couldn't, like, I'm not sure if you just gave me a blind taste test right now, whether I could tell them apart, although I'm sure there are differences, because it's been a long time since I've had either. But I've certainly never seen that much. Tom the Lesser is a damn good sport. Getting covered in Vegemite. I mean, like at least he was clothed. I don't know what prompted Julia to do that. I mean, good on her for committing to the cause, but wow. And she ended up getting, was it 4 points for cleaning up because she just hopped in the shower and did a good job of scrubbing, I guess. Good for her. I feel like I could have cleaned that globe so much quicker than Nina did, because she refused to use her hands. She was like doing it with this spatula and like refusing to like actually get any on her hands, which was like the complete opposite of what Luke did, who just decided to start playing with it. And, you know, as Tom the Greater said, he just invented a task within the task and then promptly lost that task within the task to Tom the Lesser. And then he just sort of realized at the end that he had sort of spread it on his own hand, so therefore that was that. And then he couldn't even clean it off himself. That was the really disappointing. But like you spent 8 minutes at the sink and you can't get your forearms clean? Like, what the heck? There's some ineptitude in this series, but it's fun ineptitude. There's two different types of ineptitude on Taskmaster. There's David Baddiel ineptitude, which, at least for me, was so frustrating because you couldn't understand his thought process at all. It was just so out of left field that it seemed nonsensical. And Baddiel's demeanor didn't help because he didn't laugh at himself. In any case, there's that kind of ineptitude. And then there's more John Kern's ineptitude, who's just, there are certain people who are unsuited for this show. They try hard, they're enthusiastic, but their brains just work in different ways. And I think we're getting a little bit of that with Luke and with Nina, which is fun. Like, double ineptitude is entertaining, apparently. I'm having fun with it on this show. I mean, like, you can't help but just, you know, when it's like, how is Nina going to fail this episode? Because she did it 3 times this episode, it feels like. She screwed up the sound. She screwed up the Vegemite. She screwed up the bowling ball. And somehow, on the season scoring, she's only 15 points out of the lead, which kind of blows my mind. And it's because there's other times, like the final team task today, where she and her teammates actually are, I'm glad to see that they did really well. There's certain things that they're going to be good at, but they really do have that improv troupe vibe. But they were good at recreating history with the three of them. I like the four-letter word only caveat to that task. That was fun. So it's not straight charades. You just have to think of 4-letter words, and they kind of crushed it. Did they give 5 points and 3 points? Is that how they ended up scoring that task? But in any case, like the point being, Nina occasionally surprised in a positive way, and she's not terribly out of the lead. But there's definitely a separation amongst the contestants. If you look at the season scoring to this point, Nina and Luke are at the back, just a single point apart. And then the other three are all quite even up at the front. I think that there's only 2 points separating the top three. So there's the bad and there's the good. And I haven't seen anything to indicate that may change, but we still have 6 episodes to go. So anything can happen. Theoretically, Nina could still win that $50 bet that she made with Tom the Lesser a couple of episodes ago, that she would win the whole darn thing. Theoretically, it could happen. Can you make up 15 points in 6 episodes? Absolutely. Can you make it up over 3 other contestants? That's harder, but it's not impossible. A couple of strong episodes. I mean, she's got some Bridget Christie vibes. I think I've mentioned that before. Sometimes it's inspired. Often it fails miserably, but it's almost always entertaining. And that ultimately is the purpose of the show. That being said, I'm going to overanalyze. I'm going to take it super seriously. I have so much fun dealing with it that way. That's why one of the reasons I love this show, because it takes itself seriously too. And yes, it is entertainment. I'm glad we have these entertaining fails to point and laugh at other people's ineptitude. It's human nature. It's Schadenfreude. It's a real human thing to mock others and go, oh, I would have done it better. To laugh at their failure, and you've got to be a good sport if you're a contestant on this show. I genuinely believe the cast when they say, I forgot I did that. Because if you're doing 10 or 12 tasks a day and you're at the compound for, I'm guessing it's 3 days of individual tasks and another day of team tasks. So you're filming for 4 pretty full days. Unless you're Julia, who's always just aiming to go home early. It can become a bit of a blur. And maybe you do end up blocking things out. Maybe you do forget that you got naked and covered yourself in Vegemite, although you would think that would stick with you. But yeah, I get that they're genuinely surprised by their own performance during some of these tasks. And so you get this rehashing, this re-embarrassment. You get to be embarrassed privately when you first do it because you're just being filmed, and now it's being broadcast and you're in front of a live studio audience and you have to justify yourself to the Taskmaster. You got to be a good sport for that. I applaud anyone who decides to go on the show. I would leap at the opportunity because nobody knows who I am, but if I already had a public persona, I can understand why there's a debate there about whether you should do this or not. It's as David Mitchell says, people think I'm smart right now. The only thing I can do by going on Taskmaster is prove them wrong. So I get it. But anyway, another really strong episode. That means we're hitting at a pretty high average for this series so far. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We've got plenty more to come. Can't wait for the next one next week. So until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.